The big deal about LEAP is that many students don't know, what they're going to do with their life, don't even start thinking about it until someone else tells them. With LEAP, we give them that push to be able to think about what they want to do with their life.
The genesis of LEAP, I think, came from an experience I had when I worked at the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. When I was there, I did some research and I looked at the growth of Latino students, and we were far outpacing any other group in the state at that time. And the other thing, though, that was really stirring was how Latino children scored on statewide exams. And in a nutshell, they scored last in reading, language arts, math, and science. And so that's when I convened a small group of educators and community leaders, and I gave them that data and just kind of said, that we can look at this data and just kind of accept as fact that our kids are less intelligent than other kids. And of course, we're never going to accept that. Or we use our collective experience and knowledge to begin addressing this and trying to find out what drives last and next to last, and then begin doing something about it.
When I came on board, it was a time when LEAP was shifting its focus from a purely advocacy-based group to one where we were working with students as partners and also teaching them how they can be a part of the legislative process. And since then, we've been able to do some really great things. We've created an after-school program called Peer Leaders. We have another program called Ambassadors Service Learning Program, where we're bringing youth to Olympia, our state capital, and not only learning how to testify, but then they get to come back and help students navigate that process.
I first got involved with LEAP when a group of students came down to visit me in Olympia when I was a state representative. And they were lobbying for legislation so that students who are children of undocumented parents can receive in-state tuition. And there was a large group of students. They were full of passion. I remember they were nervous at first. I was kind of a little bit shy. I was wearing a suit and tie, and I remember one kind of precocious young man stepped forward and challenged me on something and said, "You say you support these things, but what are you doing to actually get it passed?" And that kind of warmed the group up, and we had a really good exchange.
I'm a first-generation college student, which means my parents didn't get to go to college, and so a lot of the people surrounding me didn't get that opportunity of higher education just because of their economic backgrounds, or they just didn't get the chance to. And so when you get into LEAP, you start learning more about the professional aspect of the Latino community in the United States. I get to meet more Latino people that have gone into the professional field.
Just in general, being able to go to university, it was the main reason of why my family and I moved to this state. But once we got more connected with LEAP, I felt like a lot of the pieces of the puzzle started coming together. I was able to become a leader. I was able to get a scholarship. I was able to get help to apply to the university, and really embracing my own identity as a Latino, as an immigrant, and as a person that really wanted to make a change in my community. I will be graduating in March of 2016, and I will be graduating with a degree of computer science from University of Washington in Tacoma.
The LEAP Ambassador program was really great because I was always a little bit of a shyer kid growing up, but then I was told that this is how you can develop your leadership skills. So then all of a sudden I was standing in front of a group of 50 students, 500 students, and telling them to do icebreakers and have courage to go and talk to a representative or a senator. That was really a wonderful experience for me because I learned through one of our guest speakers from LEAP is that You grow the most when you step outside of your comfort zone, and I think that's something that I try to live by every day and make sure that I always push myself. And even though it's scary or it's a new experience, you really do grow from pushing yourself to try new things.
I've had the chance to watch students envision and secure a better future for themselves. And in the process, they've developed the skills not only to help themselves, but to engage in the community around them and change the laws and change the hearts and minds of people in the community. This program relies heavily on volunteers and a lot of sweat equity. Every dollar we can put into supporting programs like this, we will get a huge return, not just in the lives of these young people, but in our community as a whole. We all have a responsibility to educate the kids in our community. Our community is stronger and healthier, and we're all better off when we invest in these kids and when we support education and support these kids in our community.